Oh, right. So, talking some more Movieverse, more Bayverse here on the channel. Things are quietly revving up here and there in terms of rumors over the last 6 months about the upcoming Michael Bay movie that I've been covering here on the channel. We're just waiting for that official announcement for Paramount. Everybody else has announced it, every major Hollywood trade. So, we're just waiting on Paramount and Michael Bay to really get things rolling here. But in the meantime, I want to talk about a topic that has been on a lot of fans' minds over the last close to 10 years now, since The Last Night basically bombed at the box office in 2017. It's that, can the Bayverse be salvaged? And as you can tell by the title, I think it can. And I'm going to explain why. I'm just kind of talking and venting to you guys. I didn't really have anything pre-planned. So there may be some examples that you guys thought of that I didn't think of for this little talking session here. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any points you want to make about salvaging the Bayverse. But this is just me talking to you guys. So, I've been there since day one back in '07. I saw the ads on TV for the movie. I went to go see the '07 movie. I think the day it came out or the day after, I think it was like July 4th or something. And I've been hooked ever since to Transformers. That was my introduction, my G1 to the franchise. And I'm coming at it from that perspective. So with The Last Night, you had all this stuff set up, and it was a mess. They contradicted things from the previous four movies. And the movie just wasn't good, and the word of mouth for these movies caught up to them essentially, and it just backfired. And they scrapped all their plans. We have a lot of plans that were kind of revealed and leaked now that I've covered here on the channel the last few weeks, from the recent Transformers Bible that leaked last month. But we don't know everything still. So I'm wondering, with this upcoming Bay movie, the rumors of it being multiverse, Sergeant Epps, Tyrese Gibson, teasing that he's coming back, saying he was on the phone with Michael Bay. This was like 2 months ago I covered. And, some other rumors about Sam and Michaela coming back, and Unicron, and a 2-part finale for the Bayverse and stuff. I honestly don't know if any of that is true. I'd believe the Tyrese Gibson thing, because I don't know why he would lie about that to the public in an interview. For looking at it from a lens of nostalgia and Paramount just simply wanting to make money off this franchise, and sort of taking it back to the heyday of The Last Night, or hell, even The Last Night in general, because I've made this point in previous videos, but, the main reason why The Last Night kind of flopped and failed was because the movie had a ridiculous marketing and filming budget. Paramount banked basically everything on this movie based off of past success and based off of the popularity of cinematic universes in the MCU at the time. Everybody wanted a cinematic universe back then. There was even a freaking Monsterverse Universal was trying to do. Remember that with Tom Cruise and stuff? That was pretty funny. But the reason, 600 something million, that's still pretty good money. But it wasn't good money for the Transformers movie standards at the time, because all past four movies, except for the first one, because obviously that was different times. It was the first movie. They were still setting things up. The previous three movies made over $1 billion. So looking at it from that perspective, and Paramount spending all this money on the movie that they really didn't have to, the movie flopped. But they're looking at it now in hindsight, 8 years later, I bet, and they're like, okay, over 600 million. Rise of the Beast only made, I think it was like 450 million. Transformers 1, only 130 something million. The Bumblebee movie, I think it was like 250 million or something like that. And that was only profitable because of a low budget of like 50 million. And they're looking at it like this: if they give the movie a budget of, say, 150 million, similar to the first movie, they let Bay go crazy, because if you know Bay as a director, he knows how to work cheap budgets to make a movie look more expensive than it is. So they're probably thinking about that. They're also thinking about the name and the nostalgia of bringing Bay back and the overall popularity that Bayverse has years later. Because if you go online, that stuff is super popular till this day. Like Transformers is basically Bayverse for people who are not hardcore Transformers fans. That's just the facts. And they're thinking about all this stuff, and they're like, the Bayverse is still something we could look at. And I think there's still a lot of stuff you could tap into with the Bayverse that they already set up if it really is a hard sequel. I'm thinking it's not going to be a hard sequel. I think it's just going to be something Bay is directing, or it's going to be loosely connected to the previous movies, just based off of nostalgia and some references here and there. Because the rumors and leaks we've heard about this movie, it's that it's a new take on Transformers. So I'm really not sure what that means. Is it the G.I. Joe crossover movie? Is it the Beast Wars movie? Is it something completely different, like a comedy film? Because Jordan Van Dina, the writer attached to this movie, he seems to be more of a comedy writer, just based off of his discography that he's worked on so far. So I don't know really what they're going to tap into with this movie until we get further information or confirmation from Paramount and Bay. I'm thinking, if they take a story from Transformers mythos or just Bayverse in general that's already kind of set up, they could make something good. I mean, it's really not that hard to make a good Transformers movie. I really don't think the Bayverse is like a dead thing. Because, I mean, you look at the amount of popularity even The Last Night has almost 10 years later. You're starting to see some people kind of have nostalgia for that movie even. And, you get the popular complaint online ever since Rise of the Beast came out that, that movie was Diet Michael Bay, and that at least The Last Night was fun to watch in terms of some of the scenes and the action. And Rise of the Beast was, it was shot a bit more boring looking. The action was bland. It really was Diet Michael Bay, because they literally said it. Stephen Caple Jr. and Bonaventura, they said it during the press run that they wanted the heart of Bumblebee and the action and spectacle of the past Bay movies. And they kind of failed at that, because the camera work, the lighting, the cinematography, it was super bland in that typical corporate movie feel that we've been seeing the last 5-10 years. So it just wasn't a good mix. So they're also thinking about that. Why are we copying the original when we could just have the guy that did it in the first place? So I'm just thinking about all these things here, and it's like there's still so much that is attached to the Bayverse, just with the general audiences in terms of love and nostalgia for these movies, that how can they go wrong with this unless if they go the crazy route of The Last Night and Rise of the Beast again, where they're combining 3, 4, 5 different scripts into one movie, which is obviously a terrible idea. They did it with The Last Night, it failed. They did it with Rise of the Beast, it was a bit more successful, but again, it didn't do good. So I think Paramount doesn't want to lose anything going forward with these movies. And, you're looking at their announcements recently, their acquisition with Skydance, and just all the movies they have planned with Sonic and everything. They're really kind of locked in on their IPs and making good movies that make them money so they don't go under, sort of like Warner Brothers right now. So I think that they're trying to lock in here and make something good with the Bayverse, potentially bringing Michael Bay back, while also still trying to make just something that gets their money, because at the end of the day, that's what they care about ultimately. So I think the Bayverse can be salvaged if they just have a clear slate and they know what they're doing, and they don't just go crazy and mashing 10 different topics together into one movie. That's a terrible idea. If you just stick to one or two things, and you just focus on cutting edge action, CG, cinematography, like the first couple Bay movies, because that's what ultimately reeled people in the first place, and what got these movies over $1 billion back to back to back. And that kind of lost its touch a little bit because they sacrificed CGI in recent movies. The movies look cheaper because, Bay isn't back, unfortunately. So, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to be skeptical on with bringing Bay back and everything like that, but I think, they don't want to do another bad movie because they would start to go under, especially with the franchise. And plus, there is still a lot you could tap into with these movies that haven't even been explored, even from the lore that was established in the Bay movies. So, with that being said, guys, let me know down below. Do you guys think continuing movies with Bay is a good idea, and can it be salvaged after the mess of the last night? And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!